Hey there, parents. How you doing? I hope you're having a great week. I know a lot of times with parenting kids, youth, teenagers, preteens, can have its ups and downs and have its challenges. And so, again, I just pray that you're having a good week. And if you're not, I'm hoping that this group can be a time today to be able to share and talk and dialogue about maybe some of the things not going so well. And so, just a time to celebrate and also maybe be with each other to support and encourage one another. And so we're just cruising along in our book, Growing With. We are in the chapter that talks about Wall of Support, chapter 4, Wall of Support. And right off the bat, I don't even know if I like that analogy. You might like the analogy. And so if you read the chapter, it just talks about Kara Powell, one of the authors, really talks about something actually I know that our parent class was talking about just a few weeks ago. I was able to pop in for part of their session. And they talked just about how that transition can be challenging and painful when your child who used to want to snuggle and cuddle and talk and interact and do things and you were super great, at least most of the time, is now not really wanting to interact with you. And it's very, very hurtful because sometimes it's their tone, it's their words, and it feels so deeply personal. I assure you, a lot of times it's really not that personal. It is a little bit. I mean, it's obviously your child personally saying that to you, but it's really a lot of times they're experiencing what the book talks about. The book talks about here in chapter 4. It really talks about how this cycle of dependence to independence to interdependence. I've kidded in the other weeks about how you don't want your child at 38 years old living in your basement playing video games all day, but it is very common for students nowadays to go off to college and move back in with mom and dad. And some are doing it for even significant periods of time. There's a lot of factors that go to part with this, with not only choice of career and being able to get a job and student loans and marriage rates. And there's a lot of things going on there. But one of the key factors is raising a child, encouraging them to do things on their own. And a lot of times that can be challenging to let the leash out. Those of you who have a dog know, especially those leashes that like recoil back in, and you're able to when there's no one around, you can just let that leash out a lot of times. But when there's maybe somebody walking by on the sidewalk, you got to reel that dog in, and you got a lot of control, and so you're able to just wherever you got to move your animal. But it can be scary to let that leash back out, not knowing how that person, your child, is going to respond. So I don't know if I totally like the wall of support, but I almost kind of lean more towards maybe kind of a couch or a chair, kind of a comfy spot that your child, your teenager, can come back and rest and take that deep breath. I mean, I'm coincidentally in a chair right now, and I'm in very upright, presenting a video type mode. But afterwards, when I'm done with this video, it might just be nice for me just to relax and do something like this. I just let the air out and sit back and relax. And that's how Kara kind of talks about is being there, and I appreciate her kind of sharing a personal story about how they're on vacation, and it's thousands of dollars they're spending on this trip, and you're wanting to maximize every moment because you only get so much time with your kid, and then the trip doesn't go fully how you want it to go. I did think it was interesting, their quote here that I'm going to pull from page 110, about right in the middle of the page. It says, "Experienced growing with parents are able to remove the blinders of their own anger and fear or fear and view their kids as walking down a developmentally normal path from dependence to the oh so painful independence to the oh so delightful inner dependence." I got to be honest. I know I've already had moments, and my kids aren't even teenage really age yet, but these moments where I feel hurt and I get angry and I get frustrated. And if you don't have those kind of moments, then I really applaud you in your parenting ability, and I need to take notes from you. But that you have these moments where you're just not getting your kid to respond the way you want, and it hurts. Or you're expecting responsibility out of them, and you've communicated very clearly multiple times the behavior or things that you've been asking them to do, and you're just still not seeing that result. And so so much of parenting is being that spot when the tough moments come, who are they going to turn to? And I feel like our life is filled with more and more of stressful, challenging, busy, chaotic days and moments where sooner or later we're going to need someone to rely on. I know many of you in this room have close personal friends or family members that when life gets tough, you turn to them. And without them, your life would just really, really be in a very tough situation without the support and love and encouragement. And so that's what we try to do as we continue to walk with our teenagers, to be that wall of support, to be that comfy couch, to sit there and be with them. Some questions maybe that you want to discuss that I've included in the paper, but maybe you just want to start with, when's a time in the last month that you've had, I think this can be positive, and I don't like the word negative, but when things don't go our way, when's that moment maybe in the last month where you've just had that really awesome, amazing, exciting connection with your child? And then maybe what's that moment in the last month where things just, man, you thought there was going to be that moment and there wasn't. And maybe the evening, the day, the whatever was kind of ruined in your mind. Maybe you got frustrated. Maybe you just want to share about those moments of intimacy or lack of intimacy with your child. And then from there, it's really thinking about ways that you can be that wall, that you can remain in place and not try to fix everything, not try to take control all the time as they become more independent in their living, in their choices, and allowing that leash to go out. How do you allow that leash to go out? Or what's an area that you're maybe struggling for that leash to go out? So a few things for you to consider. I pray a blessing again, and I really encourage you, who's that other parent that you can either invite to the class, but I think even more importantly, as we think of our impact as Christians in the community, who do you work with? Who's on your son's soccer team? Who's on your daughter's dance class? Whatever, that maybe you could just even start praying for. Don't even have to tell them. Or maybe you start dialoguing with, or someone that you can really walk and do life together. We're not going to solve everything in this class, but I think we can learn some tips and some things to really help us walk with one another as we navigate this incredible responsibility that the Lord has given us. The Lord loves our children more than we do, and He's given them as a gift for us. I mean, they're yours, but they're not really yours. They're really from the Lord, and they're a gift that He's entrusted to us while here on this earth. And so blessings as we manage and be good stewards of the gift that the Lord has blessed us with. We will see you next week. Thanks.